I'm gonna stick this in the fridge because I'm not sure if it's supposed to be. It's an ale, actually.
An ale?
It's a quadruple ale.
Hey, that's 4 times the ale.
10.2.
You got your sound meter up over there so you can see if they can hear.
Jeez. He's telling me what to do. This is right. I keep bumping into the mic. That's probably going to happen all show, right?
Probably.
We'll
Yeah. We'll lose our hearing.
There, hat's back there. Now it won't bump into the thing. I can't see it because I got that big old box of cereal. Alright.
Yeah, you're good.
Hey, snappity snap snap.
TV, we started watching Lost in Space.
Oh, yeah?
Netflix. Yeah.
I started watching The Flash.
Oh, did you?
You
Oh, yeah.
talking pretty highly about
Yeah,
that.
Jackson really likes that show.
A while back.
It's pretty good.
My little nephew was over on Saturday, and he's like, watch The Flash. He's 4. I'm like, okay. So turned it on, and it was like episode 5 or something like that. And within the first like 5 minutes, I was like, this actually seems pretty good.
Yeah,
Let's start at episode 1.
Yeah, it's decent.
So we're like 8 or 10 episodes in now.
Are mics muted?
Mics are on.
Check, check.
He's just way far
Check.
away from his mic.
Is mine working? Can you hear me?
I hear you. Talk again.
Check, check. Oh.
Hey.
Maybe I'm deaf in my right ear.
You
check,
are.
check, check.
I don't hear you so much.
Blind in your left eye.
Is your mic working?
I hear him.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think.
I
don't
hear
know.
him.
This is that funky mic.
Funky.
Is it? Oh, no. That's a newer mic.
Oh, we got 20 seconds.
Talk under here. Look at that.
Oh, wow.
That sounded a lot better.
You're on the underside. You're going for the undercarriage.
Oh, it doesn't turn?
Oh, what the hell kind of microphone did you get?
Well, it's been the same one for... I don't know how long you've had that
You gotta
mic.
be certified. Oh, it's time for the show.
Hey. I'm not going to talk like this. I'll just have to talk like this.
Man, that sounds amazing. All right, we ready?
Do you need help turning that, or...
How about this?
There you go. That's fine. Like an ice cream cone.
Yep. I'll
right.
probably knock it over a few times now.
Ready?
Yeah.
Gosh.
All right.
Why are we frozen?
Yeah, we're frozen. Nope, there it goes.
So that's us talking over the intro. Sorry, I didn't...
You were snippy.
I didn't mean
that.
that.
Attitude has to change, mister. You can't go through a whole show that way.
It really wasn't. I said it
Yeah.
that way, and then I realized I said it that way.
And then you laugh.
But it wasn't meant to be snippy. I was just like, yeah. I didn't
no,
mean...
that's not. No, it's, yeah.
I didn't mean like, should we start the stream? Yeah. That's... Sorry. Anyway, this is Stuck in Beta. I'm Greg. That's Josh. That also is Josh. And we're a podcast.
And a very unprofessional one.
Yeah, well, yeah.
I mean, who's really
What?
professional?
I was going to say,
There's plenty of professional.
where's the fun and professionalism?
Do you know there's a TV show all about podcasting? That Zach Braff show?
Yes.
Yeah. Alex Inc.
Alex Inc. We watched about 5 minutes of it last night and then turned it off because it was awful.
Oh, it's no good. I like Zach Braff, but...
You know what it reminded me of? Seinfeld. It was like he was trying to redo Seinfeld.
well, that's not a bad thing to emulate.
I like Seinfeld, but he shouldn't do that.
Oh, okay.
I mean, that's Seinfeld. That's not Zach Braff. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I don't
guess.
know. I don't know.
Who is he again?
He
From,
was Parenthood. He was the...
What?
He was on Parenthood, too, right?
No? Was he?
Yeah.
I don't know.
He's the guy
was
that lived on the boat, and then...
No.
No.
That's Zach Braff.
No, it's not. That's
Which is
Kristen Bell's husband.
Yeah.
Dax Shepard.
Dax Shepard.
Oh, I get those. Okay,
They
those two.
they look so much alike.
They do.
No,
They do too.
no, they don't. One
Oh.
has blonde hair, one has black hair. Is it Zach?
Zach and Dex. Those names.
Maybe that's why he's confused.
Yeah.
The names look familiar.
It even says, look, I mean, they've got a very similar look.
No.
Are you kidding me?
Maybe if you
look
have vision
look at them
issues.
next to each other.
If you have vision issues.
They look like brothers. It's enough where there's people putting them side by side.
It made a conspiracy page that they're probably the same person.
When I looked at almost looked identical, Doctor
Whatever.
mistook
No
him.
way. Nope.
So, yes, I'm the only one that thinks that.
Yeah, I think you're crazy.
Anyway,
he wasn't on Parenthood. He was
on Scrubs.
Scrubs.
Oh, yeah.
And he produced a couple award-winning movies, hasn't he? Or directed a couple?
I really like the Garden State. That's a really good
Garden
movie.
State. And then wasn't there was another one.
There's kind of a follow-up to it. You're listening to the Zach Braff podcast.
All about Zach Braff all the time. And
And we lost someone.
What's the name of the show again?
Alex Inc.
Alex Inc.
It may be Dax Shepard's show.
Did you know Dax Shepard has his own podcast?
Does he?
Yeah, Kristen Bell was talking about it.
Oh, it probably has way more listeners than this one.
No. It's not that good a show. And I'm not talking about the podcast. I thought it was pretty bad.
I like the tagline though. He's in his mid-30s with a wife and 2 kids, makes the crazy decision to quit his good job and dive into the brand new world of starting a business.
Sounds like us on a weekly basis, right?
Well, we don't have a business as podcasting.
We talk about it every...
We'd have to have like a whole network of different shows and stuff. Friends.
I don't look it up on Rotten Tomatoes. I'm curious.
Rotten
Tomatoes.
IMDb gives it
Tomatoes.
5.6 out of 10.
Yeah, see, it's not that good.
Well,
I didn't think it was that good.
What network is it on?
It was on after Roseanne.
Yeah,
last night.
ABC. Again, Roseanne, very good.
See, this week's was okay.
It was probably the weakest episode so far.
However, the guy, Leonard Hofstadter, what's his name in the show?
David
came back.
Oh,
and
he did?
Roseanne's mom came back.
Johnny Galecki.
Thank you.
Roseanne's mom. Gosh, she's got to be really old.
It doesn't look like she's aged a day.
I know. I go, she's still alive.
Yeah.
But the one dude who played Mark, I didn't know this until like a few episodes. He actually did die.
Oh, really?
He had like an overdose or something.
I thought I read that at one point. Yeah.
It's like in 2002.
Okay.
And they put that in the show as like him dying.
Wow.
Yeah. But
Interesting.
Who was he? He was
with Becky.
Becky, right?
Yeah. She kind of left. She kind of moved out and moved in with him.
There's one.
See?
Damn it. There's one.
That was real, like gentle.
Yeah, it was.
Like you had a little triangle.
Let me get my other triangle. Hang on a second. Let me get this one here. No, same one. Sorry. So while we're on TV,
More cowbell.
do you want to talk about TV? Or I guess
I think we have been for the last 7 minutes.
Shut up, damn it. We started watching. Oh hell, Lost in Space. Thank you. Netflix redid Lost in Space.
I heard that.
Like, what was?
I heard it's actually pretty good too.
Jackson seems to like it. I'm on the fence. Well, when was that show originally on TV? Was that back in the 60s? I guess. Danger Rule.
We're gonna
Will
look
Robinson.
it up. What's the premise of that show anyway?
So the family. So people have to leave Earth, and
65.
they're like, it's kind of like, think Star Trek, but families instead of Captain Kirk exploring space.
Okay.
In this family, they have to abandon the mothership, and they crash land on a planet. And it seems in the first episode that another hostile species has crash land on the same planet, and Will Robinson, the boy, who's probably 10-ish in the show, befriends one of the hostile entities, but he turns into Will's friend and protects him and protects the family. Mm-hmm. It's interesting. I think we're on episode 2 or 3 right now.
So, remember Swiss Family Robinson?
Yeah.
It's exactly that. It's the same thing except in space.
Were there robots on Swiss Family?
No, it's a family who's stuck in a place.
Yeah.
And they deal with all this like stuff on the outside world. I mean, they're even called Robinson.
True.
The Robinsons.
True.
It's basically a take on it. That's what I've heard.
They don't have to build a treehouse, though.
But they don't build a treehouse. I'm sure they build some sort of space station.
I haven't gotten there yet.
Oh.
There's no pirate. Was it pirates that attacked the Swiss Family Robinson?
I don't know.
That was a good movie. That was a good movie. That was Disney, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. That was good. Anyway,
That was good.
Shut up. Lost in Space seems like a decent series. What's it got? IMDb. What do you? What's
let's see.
7.9? Did I see on somebody?
7.3. 69% Rotten Tomatoes.
Huh.
Rotten Tomatoes.
That's a pretty decent score, right?
Yeah, I think so. And who didn't mute their stuff?
So I think Netflix has
a weird noise. Was that you?
It may have been me. I think Netflix has done well with making quality, basically like a series, like shows, TV shows. I don't even know if you call them TV shows but they haven't really cracked a movie that's like amazing yet. Have they?
I thought they had a recent movie that was really good.
The one with Will Smith was like
Will
a high
Smith one.
production.
Yeah.
I still have yet to watch that one.
Yeah, was it good though? I've heard a lot of bad things, and I've heard other people like it.
I don't think there's a middle ground on that movie. I think there's either you really like it or you hate it.
It's not like they don't have that one thing that everyone is like, oh yeah, that's a good movie, you know.
Well, who have they signed? They re-signed Adam Sandler to another contract, right?
Right.
They signed the giant pothead.
Seth Rogen?
Seth Rogen, didn't they?
I don't know.
Wow. Way to pull that out.
Well, it's pretty well documented. He's a giant pothead.
That could be anybody, though.
Could have been Kevin
true.
Smith.
Could have been Kevin Smith. No, I think they did just sign, like in the last 3-4 months, Seth Rogen to a development project.
They kind of went through this kind of cleaning house on some of their series, though, and canceled a bunch of things. It was kind of disappointing that
Everything Sucks.
Yeah, that didn't get renewed.
Yeah.
I
Really?
like that show a lot.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
And then that show Love that I started watching, it was like you get into something and it started like 3 years ago, and you get into something and you look it up and you're like, oh, they already canceled it. So
I don't think that was canceled. I think they ended it. I thought
Really?
it was an
I
official like ending. Did you finish it?
I haven't finished it. I never read. It does have an ending though, but I read that Netflix said, this is going to be the last season of it.
Oh.
There was a movie that was out recently, or maybe not recently, that Netflix has bought the rights to and is making a TV series out of, I think.
She-Ra.
No.
They are doing that, by the way.
Are they really?
Yeah.
I can't think of the name of it. I'm Googling it now. Oh, they're redoing One Day at a Time. Look at that.
Gosh, there's so many.
I thought that's already on.
Yeah, wasn't it actually with the cast?
They're redoing Queer Eye.
And
Look at that.
isn't that already on too?
Oh, it could be.
It's just reboots of everything.
February 7th. I need to watch that. I like that show.
Reboot it all.
Yeah, it's so those sell with no problem whatsoever, huh? You can just like have an idea. Let's come up with some. Well, I guess we're not really like producers.
We got Roseanne. That's the biggest one that's been rebooted. But
well, is that technically a reboot? It's not. It's the same cast. It's the same story.
It's season 10, actually.
Yeah, exactly.
So
it came off hiatus.
I guess you'd say that. I mean,
reboot is a completely different like cast and maybe a slightly different story, or
yeah, I guess yeah.
But like that Lost in Space only had like 3 seasons originally.
Yeah,
and so I guess it's kind of strange that they would redo something. I mean, I guess it had some popularity over the last 50 years.
Well, they got Hawaii 5-0.
Yeah.
They got
who?
Didn't they make a Miami Vice? And that's not. That's on CBS.
Yeah, and I think that's good.
Yeah, Miami Vice.
They redid MacGyver.
Yeah,
did that get canceled?
I don't know. It wasn't that great.
I mean, yeah.
Every once in a while, I'll stumble across those shows, and I notice like through a commercial or something, I'm like, dang, that's still on, and it's like in season 4 or 5. It's like, wow.
last week we talked about that Andre the Giant documentary that HBO had released.
Oh, you watched that, didn't you?
I did watch that. Either of you guys watch it?
I forgot about that. No.
I haven't watched it yet.
Do you mind if I talk about it?
Sure.
Since you haven't watched
Spoilers.
It's probably not spoilers since it's a documentary.
Really a spoiler.
And then he died. What?
Yeah, right. He's not living in the WWF retirement home, like you thought.
Oh,
Sorry.
So sad for him.
The dryers. The clothes are done.
That was the error. It says error buzzer. That's why I hit it. So I did learn a few things. It was really interesting to me to see how, back in the, I guess, 70s, 60s, and 70s, local wrestling was big. Here in St. Louis, there was Dick the Bruiser, all that. I can't remember some of the other wrestlers.
What was his name?
You heard me. And that all took place at Wrestling at the Chase.
Now, when he filled out like an application or something, when he'd have to put his last name first,
it's probably Richard Bruiser. The was his middle name. I don't know why you're giggling. But anyway, it talked about how there was all these regional wrestling groups across the country, and Vince McMahon Sr., I guess, obviously Vince's dad, owned the local wrestling group in New York State, and it was called WWF. Well, he found Andre the Giant by accident one day, wrestling.
You're a big SOB.
Yeah. Signed him to like an exclusive deal that he would only wrestle for Vince. Well, Vince ended up carting him around the country doing special like guest spots in these regional wrestling places. So he gathered this huge following. Well, when cable TV took off, USA Network signed a deal with Vince McMahon and WWF. So then WWF became a national televised wrestling thing. And that's probably about the time you and we started watching that.
Well, I watched it on Channel 11, like Sunday.
Yeah, you're right.
Sundays.
I watched it too. I guess they bought the rights to rebroadcast it or something.
That was the local independent channel at the time.
Right.
There was no CW or WB, but
so this documentary talks about how because Andre the Giant had such a following, it took off broadcast-wise on USA, and all of these other wrestlers like Hulk Hogan, Ric Flair, those guys all jumped ship, left their Roddy Piper left their local wrestling groups to go to the WWF and made Vince McMahon Sr. like filthy rich.
Yeah.
So it's very interesting from that standpoint. Well, then they get into the whole social aspect of Andre the Giant being 7.5 feet tall and not fitting on an airplane and not being able to use the restroom on an airplane. And when he
I didn't even think of that.
Yeah,
but imagine a 500-pound man trying to use it.
They said when he would fly to Hawaii that he would have to go to the stewardess area, and they'd put up a sheet, and he'd have to do his business in a bucket, and they would dump the bucket into the toilet. So yeah, stuff like that you would never think of. And then you have the stories from Ric Flair that we'd go out drinking after the match, and it was completely common for him to down 109 beers in an evening. Yeah, because the dude was that big. They said it was not uncommon for him to suck down 6 cases.
Anybody want a peanut?
Yeah, 6 cases of wine in one sitting.
6 cases. What's a case of wine?
Is it six? Isn't it 6?
12.
No, it's 12.
12
right.
bottles is a case, right?
Right. They said this guy could just down alcohol because he was so freaking huge. They have a picture, and I'm sure you could find this if you searched it real quick. They have a picture of his hand holding a beer.
Yeah, we talked about that last week.
Yeah, it's just amazing. And I don't know, the personal stories from Hulk Hogan and Ric Flair and those guys, the announcer, I can't think, Mean Gene Okerlund.
Oh, Mean Gene.
He's in there. Yeah. He talks quite a bit. Now, what was fascinating to me was I guess it was WrestleMania 3 or 2 where Hulk Hogan fought Andre the Giant.
Yeah.
It was at Madison. Was it Madison Square Garden or was it out in L.A.? Anyway, they said that Andre's knees and back were so screwed up that he could barely move, and that's why they have video of it, that he more or less stood in one place, and Hulk Hogan did all the action around him.
I remember that.
It looked like he was moving.
Yeah.
Huh.
And they said that it was the first time that Andre was the bad guy, and that Hulk had tried to work out how it was gonna go down, and who was gonna take what hit and do what move. And they said Andre wouldn't talk to him. Said every time Hulk would go in to talk to Andre to try and figure out what the match was going to be like and who was going to win, Andre would say, "Get out!" and like make him leave the room. It was really, really interesting.
There's a script, right?
Yeah, right. And Hulk said going into the match, he goes, "I wrote it down for Vince McMahon what I thought it should look like and how it should go, and I handed it to Vince Jr." He said, "But I had no clue going into the start of the match when the bell rang what Andre was going to do." He said, and it scared the living hell out of me. I mean, even then, yeah. And he said that picture right there where Andre's like death squeezing Hulk and he comes back to life and, he ends up winning the match. He said he was standing on his tiptoes so that it could look like Andre was holding on to him and squeezing him. And he said he wasn't barely touching him because his back and knees were so screwed up. He said the guy could barely move.
It actually looks like he's hitting him in the head.
Yeah, there is some serious physical contact there. And he said right here where this is all coming up, when Andre ends up on the mat, that he was telling Hulk what moves to do, and Andre was going into him. It was a pretty fascinating documentary.
He's not that much bigger than Hulk Hogan, really. Like, I mean, height-wise. Size-wise, yeah. Or
he was
he's
7'2", was he?
7'5".
7'5".
And Hulk Hogan's like, what, 6'6" or something like that?
He's a big dude, yeah. And it was interesting. They said due to his condition, he had a tumor on his pituitary gland. He never stopped growing until the day he died. That he was constantly growing.
Wow.
So I still think that that's kind of BS that he could drink that much, though. I
don't know.
He's only, 2 to 3 times heavier than a normal human or normal grown man, It's
we worked for a guy that we went in and asked him one day, "Could you drink a 30-pack in a day?" And he said, "Yeah."
I mean, I guess if you build up to it, you
right.
work up to it.
Tolerance,
and then you.
But I think if you Google it, it's a pretty well documented thing that Andre could drink like a mofo. I mean, he could drink.
Him and Mike Schmidt.
Yeah. But it was interesting to see Hulkster in the documentary. I mean, he got choked up several times during the interviews, and it was neat to see Mean Gene Okerlund. Ric Flair looks like hell.
Oh my gosh, he's getting on his head. He's getting on his back here.
Yeah, it's pretty. Man, those were the days of wrestling. Those were.
I
awesome.
never was into it though.
Really?
Never. No.
Oh man, every
guys.
Sunday morning we'd watch that.
I did a little bit. But
Sunday morning is the only time I really watched. There'd be kids because I think WrestleMania maybe one may have been around 6th grade or something like that.
Probably.
I remember all these kids talking about it and all that. Pay-per-view. I didn't even know what the heck that was.
Right.
Then.
Yeah.
Because we didn't even have cable.
Yeah.
I didn't have cable then, and so I knew the guys from that, and like we were talking last week, that Saturday morning cartoon. I mean, it was hard not to know a lot of the characters, but
Bobby the Brain Heenan is in the documentary a couple times.
I didn't know a lot, and it was never like something that I really watched a lot. And I know a lot of. I mean, it's still to this day. Well, it's now WWE. Do you know it changed because of World Federation of something animals.
World Wildlife Federation.
Yeah. It changed because of that.
Hippies.
So,
holy crap!
Yeah,
Hogan picks up Andre,
and he said this is when Andre's telling him what moves to do, and Andre would just he was complicit with it.
Oh my God, that is unbelievable to see Hogan pick him up.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. It's a good documentary. I think it was like an hour.
Jeez.
An hour and 20 minutes or so.
So you know what? Speaking of documentaries, have you seen the trailer for that Mr. Rogers documentary? Movie? It's called Won't You Be My Neighbor?
Yeah,
it's Tom Hanks, isn't it?
Yeah. It comes out in June. No, it's not. This is a documentary.
Okay.
There's a Tom Hanks one, too.
I thought that was it.
Yeah, I thought so, too.
No, I saw it comes out in June. Man, it looks really good. It's crazy how many things... it's weird. I watched Mr. Rogers when I was growing up.
Who didn't?
But
Channel 9 replayed that shit all the time.
But I don't remember...
2018, right there, IMDb.
There was so many things that, he did that... Kennedy assassination happened. And,
interesting.
On the show, they talk what is assassination? And he tells about that, and he
Really?
tells about divorce, and he tells about, things that I don't really remember,
I don't remember
stuff like that. But I'm like, one thing that's he was a real soft-spoken man, but he talked to kids like
They were adult,
like a person,
Right.
not like
Right.
he didn't talk down to him.
Does it say who's playing him?
It is just, I guess, a documentary. It's not,
Yeah, this is the one that I saw, and it's really interesting. Like, there's a time. I mean, it's back in the time there was a lot of segregation. They didn't want black people swimming in their pool. Like, and then he had this black guy on, and they were in a kiddie pool together or whatever, just
really?
to be like a statement of
Yeah.
But
Josh, I thought I heard the same thing.
Yeah.
so there may be another movie coming out too, but you guys should check out that trailer when you get a chance. It looks
Interesting.
pretty good. It looks really good.
But yeah, the Mr.
Upcoming Mr. Rogers film
Not a
is
biopic.
not a biopic. But yeah, it's going to be
Huh.
it's going to be Tom Hanks.
I
Yeah.
wonder what it's called. Huh. Interesting.
Yeah, he definitely could pull that off.
Yeah,
It's like Dax Shepard
Yeah.
and Zach Braff.
Yeah. Good callback.
but they do look alike. It's not just me, so don't act like that's like crazy.
It is.
So did you see Out the Backyard?
I did. You gave me a tour.
I did not.
You didn't. So I rented a chainsaw from. Well, I've got a chainsaw.
On a pole, right?
No, I've got one of those.
On a stick.
Jalapeno on a
That's
stick.
probably copyright infringement.
No, I've got an electric one. And it's only a 14-inch blade, and
That's what.
so
He has to he had to emphasize the blade part.
Yeah.
14-inch blade. So I was cutting some of the shrubs away. Like,
that
I
what
have
you-
all that vine and stuff on
what-
my fence line and all that.
You're trimming the shrub.
And yesterday I noticed, I'm like, what the hell? There behind this shrub, there's another tree fell over the fence, broke part of the fence.
Jeez.
And once I took that shrub, the vine out of the way, I'm like, well, crap, I got to get this tree out of the way. I took a half day today, and this was about 22, 24-inch diameter tree. So I rented a 20-inch blade gas chainsaw. So I cut through that, and I cut out all the backyard. So I mean, the yard looks a lot bigger now.
You're doing man work.
Yeah, I know, and it's exhausting. I'm not used to being a man. So yeah. Saturday we got a junk day. So hey, want to help me load some shrubs and get them to the junk place?
Possibly.
Oh, and another thing, our dryer went out yesterday,
Oh,
so we had to get a new dryer.
really?
Yeah,
You weren't able to fix it in any way?
the motor's
Josh
totally.
will buy the old one for me for $100.
Oh,
Pick it up.
stop it.
Yeah, I'm
Did you get
sure
rid
he
of that?
will.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Sorry about that, buddy.
It's not the belt. It's not like it's just not heating up anymore.
Probably a relay on the brain or something.
So, and this thing I got as a hand-me-down 12 years ago. So it's like, do we fix it or do we just get something? So we ended up getting a new dryer that comes on Saturday.
Molly's weighing in and says, no, that's Dax Shepard. Was that, Molly, is that a comment? Dax Shepard's married to Kristen Bell,
Yeah.
not Zach Braff. Right? Who
Sure.
else? Who else were we talking
How is
about?
she behind?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Is it a recent comment?
I think so, because I remember seeing the Beer 30 thing there a minute ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, whatever.
Whatever. So you and me waited in line for a beer.
You and me.
Yeah,
And we're not
I was disappointed I couldn't join. I mean, I guess I could have joined you guys, but
We didn't try it out we're not going to try it out today.
Oh, it's sitting on my counter.
that's a great story.
Yeah. Moving on.
But
Next
it was funny. It was one of those things where I'm like, I want to wait in line for this beer.
Wait. it's halfway through the show. Should we open a beer since it's beer time?
Let's do a beer.
All right, hang on. Go ahead. Go off microphone like you do every week.
do. Like you do back this time. Where's that beer you brought?
Yeah, so he's texting you and I
Yeah.
over this, and I didn't expect to be able to get it because I'm like, screw it, I'm not standing around.
Right, 70.
Right, there was only 70 beers.
available.
So,
Pour. You need a new glass? You fine?
no, I'm fine. When he says, yeah, there's only 50 people in line, I'm like, well, okay, I'll go down there.
Well, first,
Oh, yeah, Molly's estimating skills.
so sorry, dear. But I was
Ooh, that's red looking.
I was getting ready, and I told Molly, I go, hey, because she was leaving to go garaging or something, and I go, why don't you pass by Main and Mill, tell me how many people are in line, and that way I'll know how fast I need to get up there. And she passed by. There's about 60 or 70 people. I'm like, really?
And then what time was this?
Oh,
Eight
that was
o'clock?
about 8:30, 9 o'clock, and she told me that, and I'm like, oh shoot, I'm not gonna get a bottle. So she's like, well, let me just turn around. You just come with me garaging. And so I get ready,
Garaging?
Garage sailing.
I
So
didn't know there was a shortened version.
That's the
of that.
street term.
street term.
Oh,
So we passed by it. I go, that doesn't look like and I brought my stuff with me, my chair and some beer,
Blanket.
my blanket. And I didn't bring a blanket. So I get in line, and I was number 45 in line. And then I got a hold of you guys and said,
Yeah.
hey,
Hey,
I'm only 45.
come
and
get some beer.
it literally, the next few people behind me, it took about 25 minutes before even there were two more people behind me, because
Yeah,
you were
oh,
like
wow.
3 behind me.
I think I got there at 9:30 or so, and
Something like that.
I was number 51, and then it took a good while for people to get behind me.
I don't think there ever was 70.
Oh, I'm sure they sold the beer out.
Yeah, they did, but there was tons of beer people sharing and stuff.
Oh
and,
yeah, good reason to drink beer at 10 o'clock in the morning.
yeah, and it's funny when we were walking up closer to we were in line. I'm like, hey, that bottle looks like it's still full. It was some Four Hands one, Good Faith, and I never tried. And I'm like, oh, I'm gonna try some of that. So
bottle of urine, wasn't it?
I tried, and it was urine, no, but it was good.
No, the funny thing was, Greg and I are standing there talking, and Molly calls or texts Greg and, hey, you want any breakfast?
Oh,
And
that
I'm
was
like,
awesome.
Oh yeah, I'll take some breakfast.
Aw.
So Molly gets breakfast and pulls up there at the four-way stop and rolls the window down and hands the bag out the window, and everybody around us is like, that's
man.
the best wife ever.
Man, I should have gone.
Yeah.
Sounds like a good time.
Yeah, it was good. Well, there'll be another. I think the peanut butter stout or something is the next
It's
one.
the
And-
Imperial one. Right?
Yeah, and we
What were
didn't
they-
really.
What were they calling that? They were using a different name
Did
for
they?
that.
Jafforia.
Jafforia.
Yeah, I don't know if I like that so much though.
It was really sweet,
Yeah.
and it didn't have much of a barrel flavor to it.
So you want to tell us what this one is?
So this is called the Sixth Glass. It's a quadruple ale from Boulevard. I picked this up at Friar Tuck's. It was like you can build your own six pack.
Build your own.
But this one is, with it being a quadruple ale, I was trying to look that up to understand exactly what that meant. And it's a Belgian style. But anyway, it's 10.2% alcohol. And what do you guys think? Did you try it yet?
Yeah, it's good. How much alcohol?
10.2.
I would have never guessed that.
Yeah, I mean,
It's real smooth.
that's a really good deal up there at Friar Tuck's. You can get those, like, if you wouldn't buy 6 of these, I mean, it's only like $8
Yeah,
or
'cause
something
that's
like
probably
that.
more expensive beer.
Yeah, you
being
would think so.
10%.
Yeah, it's pretty good. Very like that Belgian
Ooh, that is good.
Belgian-y,
Yeah, I like that. It's definitely seems a lot less
sweet red.
Yeah, it's very burgundy-ish, reddish.
Yeah, very smooth.
So there's a double, a triple, and a quadruple.
What does it mean though?
What does it mean?
Compared to its double, quadruple is Belgian style with bold flavor compared to its double and triple sister styles. Typically darker creation, ranges in deep red. Doesn't really explain like what exactly that means.
Right.
If we have any beer experts listening, please weigh in the comment section.
Quadruple is a type of beer with an alcohol number of 10% or more. Maybe that's just all
maybe.
it is. Maybe it's as simple as that.
You think?
Well, let's see. Triple. Let's look up triple ale.
Well, it's good.
Yeah, it's good. It's good.
It's good.
Triple term used mainly in Low Countries. European countries describe a strong pale ale loosely in the West. Malay triple. No. Now we're getting into other stuff.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's good. And I don't really have a snack. I just have some cereal that I
hell is this?
purchased.
Yeah. I
And
don't know if it's a good pairing or not.
you want me to just
donut shop cereal?
Keep it.
You want me to just I love it. It's good breakfast cereal.
You're
Oh, I
gonna
imagine.
you want to get the tag in for Kellogg's, right? Because they're sponsoring today's show.
Yeah.
So this episode brought to you by Kellogg's, makers of donut shop cereal. Try the pink donut.
Well,
It's delicious.
In the family size box.
Yeah.
we're down
It's
to
new.
one watcher.
That's par.
Yeah, but people listen to this afterwards.
Oh, yeah.
for sure. My wife never.
Well, both our wives are on there.
Yeah, she was. Obviously, she's not now.
Yeah.
What happened to Mike? Where's Mike? Or one?
Man, you
heard
stopped
from
sharing the show. That's the problem.
I shared it once last week. Last week was the first time in probably months I shared the show.
Well, you obviously don't care. I share it every week.
Let's try this. Let's try this. Go ahead and share it, and then I'll reshare it. And let's see how many.
Yeah, I'd like to. I just shared.
I shared it.
I know. I won't get any support.
I will share it.
I don't
and
have any
let's
friends.
see.
It also depends on how many people are actually on. See, not everyone has to watch this
Oh,
live.
two. No, you're right.
No, not everyone has to watch it
Tammy.
live because we
All
don't
right.
do
Hi, Tammy.
anything
All right.
exciting.
Let's. I'm gonna write post saying live
join
now.
now.
Live now. Watch us. And
Watch us.
say hi. Let's see what happens.
And
Post.
okay, I hope that it's successful. I really do. And then I'm gonna wonder why you don't do that every week.
Yeah.
You're the one who wanted to do this podcast. Dang it!
Well, it was a communal effort.
A communal. There's a third person now.
Yeah, watch that number go up, boys. Since we're drinking beer, do you want to talk about what you received in the mail today?
Oh, I got the ingredients for a smash ale for us to make.
And what is Smash?
Single malt, single hop. I guess the A really doesn't. Maybe it's single malt and single hop.
Right.
Maybe
Right.
that's it. It's very simple beer. There's not much to it, but it's a good, like, easy. It'd be an easy summer beer because it's like 4.5%.
What hops did you get?
Simcoe,
So it smell good.
Simcoe, and two row. That's all it is.
So it's not a single hop then. Oh no, the 2 rows and malt. Sorry,
Yeah.
the grain.
So what's your plan for it? Are you gonna keg it?
Yeah, probably keg it. I really want to
Bottling
get.
is such a
Yeah, I really want to
yes.
get a bottling gun so I can dish it out. But I really want to work on the keezer too to
Yeah.
get the keezer set up, and we have a video for that.
Homebrewing, back at it.
Yeah, we
We've
want
been
to.
on
I mean,
hiatus.
look in that magazine.
Oh, man,
Find yourself a brew that you want to brew.
Look at this. I didn't make it past page 1, and I'm like, I need to buy that. And Greg has all the brewing equipment.
He
Doesn't
does.
this thing look cool?
Yeah.
Gigawart,
Gigawart.
the electric pot.
Didn't so we saw Micah's setup at one
Yeah,
time. Remember,
yeah.
he had some sort of
Something like that.
was it Italian or German?
German, maybe.
But it was like
4. Look, we got another one.
Hey.
you literally had all the grain in the thing. It did everything.
Put the
Yeah,
water
that's
in,
cool.
take the water out.
You didn't have to
Yeah.
really. It was pretty simple.
Man, and I told Greg, I said, I think we should try making wine. I know,
Really?
I know Annette would drink it, and from what I understand, we just lost a person.
But
From what I understand, the requirements for sterilization are nowhere near as strenuous with wine as it is beer. So it should be easier.
So, do you want to get back into? Do you want to get into brewing and then start doing other stuff right away, like wine, or you want to do
I
some
could
batches?
volunteer to do the wine.
I definitely, going back to what we did last time, I want to keep it simple.
That's
we got too crazy.
No Cheerios.
Well, here's what like I was telling him.
pineapple.
Hey, the bacon.
We got all grain. We got all grain, so we could work with the all grain kits. And all grain kits, there's lots of all grain kits where you get some good recipes.
We're up to 4.
Just work with that. We'll make some good beers.
Yeah.
And
I want to make good beer.
Is there a bad beer?
No.
Yeah, we've made
Well,
them.
yeah. We've made
When
some.
they turn and go funky, sure.
So we experimented with can we make bad beer? And we were
no,
successful.
we didn't set it. We did not
Oh,
set
I
out
thought we
and
did.
say, well, let's make a bad beer.
How
No.
about cucumber? Okay.
No, that
So-
Bad idea.
to me that cucumber beer was extremely refreshing and a great summer beer. I had people that we're up to 5. I had people that were asking me for 6-packs of that beer.
It needed 75% less cucumber.
But yeah,
Maybe.
probably. You're probably right there. But I think, I mean, it's one of those things. Taste, everyone has a different taste.
I think you could probably sell that recipe to Denny at Main and Mill and get Main and Mill to make a cucumber beer.
A cucumber Kolsch.
Yeah, I bet so.
I don't think I have a recipe written down or anything. We kind of juice.
We should just you juice
Oh,
cucumbers
that's
all over your
all-
counter is what happened.
All right, I will support this. Let's get back into
I support this industry.
brewing.
Can we use a carboy for wine?
I guess. I mean, I have a couple buckets. We don't have to use a carboy for beer.
Well, I
Are
think,
your feet gonna fit in there to smash the grill?
no,
Oh, yeah?
my size 13s. No, I'll have to shave them before I do that.
Maybe Millie's feet can fit in there, but I don't know.
Right.
Smash.
Trim your toenails too, please.
No, I trimmed those last week. We're good for another 6 months.
So speaking of sanitation, did you hear that bathroom hand
good
dryers?
segue, man.
Bathroom hand dryers are just spraying
Look,
poop.
Barry. Denny already did a small batch cucumber beer. There, thank you, Barry, for sharing that.
Yeah,
Did it turn out, Barry?
yeah. I wonder if it turned
I
out.
thought ours was great.
See, it all depends on
gosh.
your cucumber, if you like cucumber or not.
Yeah, but cucumber goes with summer.
Yeah, it does. It does. And I mean,
It has to be very faint though, or
there's
very
cucumber
light.
vodka. There's
Oh, yeah,
cucumber
and that's
water.
good.
There's
Yeah, but it's so subtle. Ours
Yeah.
was punch you in the mouth. I mean, it was so cucumber.
With a cucumber.
Yeah. Well, he used the cucumbers out of his garden.
He says it was
Barry says it wasn't his favorite. Well,
probably that's why they haven't done another one.
Yeah. Small
well,
batch.
Barry, you need to tell Denny that we're talking about him on the podcast. He's our 4 watchers are
Four.
they're hearing about Main and Mill and the beer. So
We're keeping it local.
yeah,
Yeah.
where you are. No, I think we should get back into it. And
All
I
right,
know
let's
if
do
we
it.
did wine, does Lori like wine?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I know the girls.
red.
I know that our ladies would drink.
Yeah. What's
Annette likes
White?
Riesling. Yeah, it's kind of sweet, semi-sweet whites.
Well, there you go.
I think Lori actually prefers good beer over wine,
do.
but wine's just easy.
Sure. All right, Barry. Thanks for watching. Man.
Yeah.
So, what were your sanitation comment?
So I was saying, do you know bathroom hand dryers are just spraying poop on your hands?
Okay, so I do know this, and it's because we worked with a guy that would rant and rave about bathroom hand dryer
Yeah.
vent fan things.
Well, and there was a Mythbusters episode about 5 years ago where they tested all this with towels versus the hand dryers.
Yeah.
And, there was less bacteria spread. It was like 76% spread on the blowers versus it was pretty low, like 12% with towels.
Yeah.
So the other interesting thing with that, or the other downside to having the poop sprayers, a certain certain percentage of humans don't wash their hands after they use the facilities.
Oh God, I always seem to be in the bathroom with those people.
But
yeah.
if you're in the bathroom and it has a hair dryer thing, you have you have to touch the same doorknob as the guy that didn't wash his hands.
I know.
So you're unclean.
Right.
Anyway, so why wash your hands?
So you can't use a towel to
Right.
open it. I like
Right.
those. Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say I was at a wedding last weekend, and I walk in to use the restroom, and I'm using the urinal, and the guy next to me is like tearing it up, just like crazy, like just most ridiculous sound effects are coming out of his rear end.
Kind of like the iPad.
And I'm using the urinal, and he wipe, and then gets up and walks right out. I'm like, that is the most disgusting thing.
And he's probably at the bar right after getting another drink.
So I'm washing
Was
my
the doorknob
hands.
kind of wet when you walked out?
I wash my hands and I go up and it's a handle. It's not a knob. It's like one of those handles. So I'm like thinking, okay, I got to touch the bottom, and I'm gonna use my left pinky because
I've done that before.
Yeah.
I've done that before.
less likely to do
Yeah.
anything around my mouth or with food.
sketchy
Well, yeah,
gas
because you always
Yeah.
hold your pinky up when you're drinking.
Right.
So,
Yeah.
But God,
That's
what is
the dirty
wrong with
pinky.
people that they don't wash their hands afterwards?
Yeah, everybody's got dirty pinky.
so I like the bathrooms. I like the bathrooms that have that little metal thing at the bottom of the door
Oh,
where you can
yeah.
take your foot and pull it.
Yeah. Yeah.
to open the
hey,
door.
we're up to 7. Look at that.
Yeah.
And so at work there was one bathroom at my work that has the hand dryer or the blow dryer, and it has the paper towels, and the paper towel dispenser seems to be always jammed because it's
Yeah.
one of those that like you
motion.
wave
Oh,
motion
yeah.
censored.
Yeah.
And so I'm like,
Oh, damn. Now we're down on 3.
do I just air dry, sling it off and then walk out, or do I push the thing? And it's the old school like.
Oh, the ones that they're not the ones that.
Yeah.
That you see your skin like
Ripple.
ripple.
Yeah.
Yeah.
On
Yeah.
Mythbusters, they had that one where it was the super powerful
Yeah.
one. But the old, I wonder if there's a difference between the old school.
Probably
like,
not. Because think about it. You still have people, you're still touching the doorknob with people that haven't washed their hands. And to me, that's a bigger spread
thought
of
it was
fecal
the-
matter.
But I thought it was the dryer that was actually blowing out the.
But you've washed your hands
Bacteria.
at that point.
Right.
So there shouldn't be any fecal matter on your hands to blow if you've washed your hands.
Where is it coming from? Well, how does it get to where it blows out?
There's a fog. There's a fog in the
I
bathroom.
thought that
Once you
was
flush,
really.
Well, they did the thing on that too,
Yeah.
with toothbrushes in the bathroom
Yeah.
not being in the drawer and getting fecal matter on them from flushing.
so
Man,
I work at a hospital, and
You do?
you're supposed to be clean.
Yeah,
All towels, no blowers.
yeah, that's
yeah,
smart.
right?
I remember this back in the day. I used to, in the mornings, I used to flip on the TV when I was getting ready for work, and there was this infomercial. I mean, those things used to scare the crap out of me. There would be these infomercials on like your bathroom and like how dirty they are. And we took this scientific study.
What were
and
they
look at-
selling?
It was something to do with
Bacon.
this exact thing, but it was your home bathroom.
Frying pan.
It was something to do with how disgusting your home bathroom is, and like if you leave your toothbrush on the
Yeah, and the
on
little
the
cup on the
vanity
counter, yeah.
versus
Do you
In
have
a
a
drawer,
normal
right?
toothbrush? Do you?
yeah.
There's always a person on those commercials
Yeah.
can't figure out normal tools.
But then they have like this, this camera, this image that goes over the top of it, and it just shows it's just like growing with like E. coli, and it's like moving, and it looks absolutely disgusting. And ever since then, now it was probably totally like BS, but ever since then, I've always had that thought like. Gosh, the toilet needs to be segregated from the rest of the bathroom. Really,
With super strong exhaust vents that go directly outside through an incinerator.
Oh, like when you go to a loading dock or whatever, where they have the air shield or whatever, so bugs can't fly
Air
in.
curtain. Well, or
Yeah.
like the isolation rooms at the hospital that vent directly outside.
Yeah.
They don't go into the main air conditioning system. Yeah.
That'd be an expensive bathroom, though.
Well, but think about it. Every bathroom has an exhaust vent now with the fan.
yeah, but
Mine isn't that very strong.
Mine is right over my van. Well, I mean, in most bathrooms, it's kind of like right over the vanity or right near the
See,
vanity. So,
ours is right over the toilet.
no, yeah.
Yeah.
So is mine.
Well, I'm thinking in mine, it's probably sucking it right across the room,
Yeah. Straight over your toothbrushes.
filtering it through my toothbrush.
Over your razor.
So by the time it gets outside, it's clean because your toothbrush is taking all the fecal matter out. Hey, Steve.
Oh, man.
Jeez, it's
Oh,
disgusting.
yeah. Yeah, that's disgusting.
That's pretty.
Makes you wonder how we made it this far, right?
I know. That's the thing.
Right. You haven't gotten E. coli poisoning or anything like that.
I mean,
so
I
far.
get stomach bugs here and there.
Yeah,
I
it
guess
could be from poop on your toothbrush.
I always used to love it about every gas station you go to. You'd have that little instructions to press button, rub hands or whatever, and someone would always scratch out, so it'd say press butt or something like that.
Yeah,
and then
rub anus.
Receive
hands would be scratched out to make it look like anus.
What bathroom do you go
I thought it was
to?
receive bacon or something.
No, I think it was anus. He's looking this up.
He is.
He's
dude.
Googling this.
Oh yeah, it does look like bacon, doesn't it?
Bacon?
Yeah, the little emoji icon thing.
Oh, that looks like bacon. Yeah, but people would scratch it out. Scratch out.
Yeah, push
hands,
press
and it would
butt.
turn into anus.
Oh
man,
crap.
What else we got?
So
on to sad news.
Well, I was going to talk about that. You know that? Did you ever? Either of you see that King of Kong movie?
8 minutes. No.
No. Is that the new one?
It's the one. No, it's from 2007. It was a documentary, but it's really good. It's about them trying to get the high score
documentary episode.
High score on Donkey Kong.
Okay.
And there's two guys at the top. There's Steve Wiebe and Billy Mitchell. Billy Mitchell is just this guy that has...
Wasn't that the chess guy?
So anyway, making a long story short, he sent in a tape of his Donkey Kong win or whatever, getting a million points or whatever. And it's been... Now they've taken away all his high scores.
Why?
Well, because they're looking at the tape now, and the way an arcade transitions the screens between Donkey Kong is a lot different than what it does on a MAME, which is a arcade emulator on a computer.
Okay.
An arcade emulator, you can have save points, you can manipulate the film, the tape and all that, so it looks like you got better than you did.
Really?
So, in other words, everything he did is kind of off the board. Like, they've taken him out of... So, Twin Galaxies is a big video game scorekeeping system, and the Guinness Book of World Records takes all their video game records from that.
Huh.
So, they've stripped him, too.
No.
And he just put out a video saying that he wants to be... He's going to be... he has a tape with evidence and something like that. But he's been saying that for a while now. This whole controversy has come out for a while. He's a strange looking guy. He got a mullet.
Strange looking dude.
Man, I just have to say, does he not look like that? Really? Okay, what's the PC term? Short person?
Oh, little person.
You know what I'm saying? The guy. Who's that guy? He's in
Peter Dinklage.
Elf. Yeah, he looks just like him.
Kinda. He could be Peter Dinklage's taller brother. Kind of like Dak Shepard and Zach Braff.
Yeah. That's what I was going for.
I picked it up, but you were laying down.
But he looks just like him. But yeah, that's crazy. So that he's being stripped of all his 35-year-old.
I didn't realize that you followed top score of video games so closely.
So it's pretty classic games are pretty interesting. I know Pac-Man has a when you get to it's like the 99th level. So those computer chips in there were never able to. They never had an ending to the game, so they just repeated levels. They got faster and faster and faster, but the chip didn't have any more memory, so it kind of ran out of space. So on the Pac-Man final level, half the board is all jumbled garbage, and you got to try and eat whatever pellets are there. And once you get all that, that's kind of the end. That's kind of the high score and the end of Pac-Man. I've never made it to that. Now, Donkey Kong is a different thing. It's you get to the board, and after I think it's 5 seconds, your guy just dies because it's like it can't do any more. So it just, you're dead, and they call it the kill screen, and that's whatever points you get to that point in the game, which would be the end. That's what you have.
I cannot imagine these people are that good. It's hard for me to believe. I played.
No, I can't get past like 3 boards of Donkey Kong.
It's what's the game that's sort of like Galaxian?
Galaga.
Yeah, maybe that's
He's playing Galaga?
Huh?
It was
Avengers.
Gosh, it was like I get about 5 or so levels in. I wonder how. So
it's
you
really-
think you think that goes like 99 levels?
Oh, probably. I could bet. I bet it does.
I can imagine getting that far because each.
There you go. But yeah, it's like you guys should check out King of Kong. It actually is a pretty good movie.
Well, but I guess it's BS now.
Is it as good as?
Well, it's not BS. It's just well, I mean, you can watch it. And
he lied. Is it as good as the Andre the Giant documentary?
I haven't seen that one, so I can't compare. But I've probably watched it 3 times since then, and I've even
Poor Molly.
So she won't sit and watch it, but Jeff has watched it with me, and he thought it was good. So
Jeff is who?
he's my brother.
Oh,
You know this.
Well, guys, it's about that time.
that's a wrap.
That's
Hey,
a wrap.
we didn't get to talk about hackers stealing database
I actually wanted to hear
high
about that.
score. It's pretty crazy. So the Internet of Things,
Is this more video game information?
no, it's more tech news basically. Like the Internet of Things, which like
IoT,
our light bulbs, our Nest thermostat, and
Doorbell.
doorbells. Everything is actually on the internet or whatever. Well, hackers were able to get into a thermometer of a fish tank in one of the casinos. And, I guess they're able to regulate the temperature
via Wi-Fi.
via Wi-Fi. They were able to get in and actually get through that. I guess that got them on the network. Then they were able to get in
Wow.
to some computers and get like all the high scorers database from the casino. Now I don't know what that would get you,
Whales, not high scorers.
what
Whales.
whales? Is that a thing? Is that
Yeah, that's what big gamblers are called. Whales.
Oh, okay. But they were able to get that.
That's from my days as a casino host.
It sounds like pretty crazy that those little things.
Oh, it's a life you wouldn't want to leave.
Being a whale?
Yeah.
Why is that?
You gotta talk like Dory.
Yeah.
You gotta talk whale.
You always end
Anyway,
up
sorry
on
to
the
ruin
beach.
your story. Sorry.
So anyway, I thought it was interesting that they could actually go through
That is crazy.
a device that really was just
Dumb.
meant for one thing.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, really, the more things that get that kind of does. I'm kind of, I guess, a little bit of a conspiracy theorist when it comes to that kind of stuff because I feel like the more things that you put on a network, the more likely it is for somebody to get into that.
There's a definite. Yeah, there's a definite increase, and that's the next big security issue is these IoT devices.
Yeah.
It's already been documented. Some of these, one of the big internet takedowns or the attacks that happened, and it's probably been over a year ago now, was I think it was smart thermostats that were taken over and used in a botnet attack against some website provider or DNS provider, and took down like half the web. Those types of attacks are very real and very likely.
We could do a whole episode on this.
If you watch,
No, we could.
don't know
You guys
enough.
are smart. You know this stuff.
if you watch
People need
Mr.
to be
Robot,
protected.
if you watch Mr. Robot, they've done that too. They've hacked through a thermostat, like a
Man,
system.
that's scary
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah, crazy.
People need to understand that and protect themselves.
Well, how would you protect yourself? You'd have to say no IoT in my house.
There you go.
Yeah, that ain't happening.
Not in my house.
I love my Nest doorbell, by the way. I don't know if I've talked about it at all. I replaced that
Did you finally
ring.
get
Yeah,
it?
we're out of time.
I replaced that Ring doorbell. Yeah, we are.
The
out of
Ring doorbell.
Where
So
can you
did-
find us, Greg?
We are in. We were. You could
We're
always.
in your basement.
We're in.
Come
the
join us.
Studio.
We have more stools,
Yeah, we have more
Available.
stools. Come on, we're.
microphones.
If you ever
Well,
want to be
kinda.
a guest, come on.
Come on.
Come talk to our producer.
Come on down. Talk to our producer. Who's that?
We have to vet you before we give you Greg's address.
Yeah, I'm sure you would have no problem giving us my address. Oh yeah, it's right there.
For all those listening, I think everybody listening knows where you live.
Well, there's only 3 people, so probably.
Probably.
They're all in this right here.
Probably.
The 3 of us.
Yeah, right.
So, subscribe, review, and rate. Or is that subscribing and rating?
What?
Reviewing?
What did you just say?
Yeah.
We're on YouTube. We're on Facebook.
Give us a thumbs
We're
up.
not on YouTube.
Yeah, we are.
Use book.
We're streaming this. We're streaming this on Facebook.
But I got the episodes up
you
there.
you uploaded. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's only been 86 episodes. Thanks for keeping up.
Yeah. Well, I'm here when they're made. Why do I
iTunes, Google Play, Stitcher. Come join us. And if you're already listening to this, you probably have joined us. So tell your friends. That's what you need to do.
You were snippy again.
Tell your friends and your enemies. See you next time.